He lives in a different city to Seoul, which might be why we don't see him that often. Currently 0-1 in Pro League. He's only played once before, and he did lose to Yoda in that TVT match. Recently bombed out at GSL, losing to Youngwire and TY, so it's hard to see what kind of form he's in. Obviously, losing that kind of match is going to really... Man, this song is so distracting.
It's bringing down the mood, man.
I'm getting depressed. Like, clearly he's not in a happy state of mind, Valdez. I don't know.
He actually looks kind of sad. I'm not sure what's going on. He had quite a big cheer, I have to say, from the crowd when he was introduced.
All right.
But I think this guy's going to have a bit bigger of a cheer. It is, of course, Flash. Look at that win ratio against Terran. Quite big. Of course, not many of those games have been played recently. I know he's been playing a lot of that TVZ matchup, in fact.
Oh, yeah, he has. And losing just about all of them, except for the last one against Bong Bong. And, yeah, he's in the biggest slump we've ever seen him be in. He's really digging deep, looking for something here. And he's smashing that Picari sweat as usual. Let's see if it'll bring him the luck that he needs today. I want to see those bubble cheeks. That's the next step in Flash's preparation for the game.
Yeah, he doesn't have much Picari sweat left, though.
He just downs the whole bottle.
Yeah, he usually just chugs one right before his games. But, guys, we are about to jump into a TVT between Bomber and Flash. Tell your friends. It's going to be a crazy big game here. We're going to have the predictions first, and look at this.
Oh.
Everybody on the far side of the desk say Bomber, whereas the Koreans go for Flash. Not a big surprise, I have to say. The Koreans very biased towards Flash. He is incredibly famous and just a very good player overall. He is just slumping, which is why I went for Bomber.
Yeah, exactly the same.
Well, guys, let's jump into the game. It's game number 4 between StarTale-yoe and KT Rolster. Over here in the west on Catallena in the red, one of our Terran players here from StarTale. It is Bomber.
Down here to the southeast, it is going to be Flash, a.k.a. God, a.k.a. Slump.
Wow, Moonglade. Telling it like it is, basically. Let's see if he'll go with some flashy play here. Going to want to see that gas first. Very strong on the map. But then again, Flash not really known for doing it. Bomber versus Flash, 2-0, including unofficial games. So Bomber.
What does an unofficial game mean? Like a ladder game?
No, I don't think it can mean ladder. I guess it might mean like just online tournaments or something.
Man, if it meant ladder games, then I'd have a few. I'd have a few up there on the scoreboards.
Well, what's your win ratio against both these guys?
I beat Bomber once in the ladder.
But how many times did you lose to him?
Doesn't matter. I beat him once, Valdez.
Okay.
And here's a first-person view of these lovely lads playing Terran, showing us their opening builds. We are seeing that early gas from Bomber.
Yep, and from Flash as well.
Flash. There we go. Yeah. So no surprise on this map. It is great. Short flight path to each base. Got that one out. And, I mean, there's a lot of aggression on this map, a lot of potential for harassment. So that's why, generally, you will see the gas first. And a lot of aggression. Same kind of properties you see on, for instance, Merry-Go-Round. Another 3-player map, funnily enough. We do see a lot of gas first on that map.
Based on the positioning here, if Flash does go for a drop, I think it's going to be a bit easier to get damage done in the main. It's just going to come all the way in the back there, whereas Bomber has to loop around a little bit, go a bit north before he does get into that main, whereas Flash can just go right in the back.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, Flash with that flight path straight to the main base. Whoa, Flash pausing things up.
We got to see Flash type in a chat. That was pretty cool.
Is he meant to have 3 Ps or 1 P, which is the next question, Valdez? Are we going to see a warning?
It is possible.
He's like, hey, man, I drank on my Picari Sweat.
I think I need another one.
I need another one.
He's explaining a very in-depth problem, it seems.
It's like, this monitor is half a centimeter off on the right. My ruler.
Well, because it's flash, it's probably like half a millimeter or something.
Hotkey setup. Oh, hotkey setup.
So that's definitely going to be a warning because this is something that the player did wrongly.
Yeah, it's definitely his mistake, which is going to be a massive problem. I mean, you got to have that sorted out in your warm-up games leading up to this.
It's also a problem because the more warnings you get, if you are tied with another team, you'll actually be below them on the standing. So if 4th place and 5th place team have the same indicator points, the same wins, KT Rolster with more warnings could possibly be below them and get 5th place. But
right.
Again, that's like very minor stuff, but it has come into play before.
Yeah.
I remember Prime, off the back of Marine King, with his multiple warnings, actually lost a point last season in one of the rounds.
Yeah, he made a lot of mistakes last year with that. Just typing stuff wrong, typing it in English, just getting way too emotional when he lost.
Yeah. We feel your victory.
True KT fan.
She is so embarrassed. Okay, there we go.
Oh, yeah. You know, she knew there was no escape.
Yeah, she gave in.
Look at that fantastic turnout today, Valdez. That is really is absolutely huge. This is obviously the very important week for teams to get into the playoffs. That's why we are seeing a lot of people come down here and cheer for their favorite teams.
Of course. Well, now that we have the views this way, this is usually what we go into before we jump into the game. So
yeah, should be in a second, I think.
Yeah, hockey setup usually isn't the hardest thing to fix.
So good to see Bomber again, by the way. I've missed him.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, player with a lot of history. He's a bit older now. I think he's like 28 actually, or 26. One of the oldest pro gamers.
That's Korean age, right?
I'm not sure actually.
So I'm like, is he my age? That's kind of cool.
That would be cool.
Yeah, I'd like that. I feel kind of alone out here. Everyone's so young.
What do you mean?
Everyone's so young, Valdez.
Tasteless and Artosis are both older than you. So is Doa.
They're young at heart.
Monte Cristo's like 26. He's like
he's my age, I think, actually.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
you're not alone. Shut up, Moonglade.
All right. Fine. Still waiting for these guys to start up. Waiting for Flash to fix that hotkey problem.
Yeah, I don't. Usually when you got a hotkey problem, usually you just fix it, and then you get into the game. But
they're probably just giving him his penalty or something.
They're like reading from the giant handbook of Kespa behind him. They're like, you broke this rule and this rule and this rule.
Like writing him a ticket or something.
Just gonna like put it on his forehead. He can't see while he plays the game. He's still like arguing about something. I wonder what it really is.
We're gonna go back to his fangirls instead. Busted! You don't have anything to cover your face.
Yeah, those bangs are long, but not long enough.
They're not reacting badly like they usually do, which is kind of refreshing.
Yeah, some of the fans usually just like run away or like put their head in their jacket or something. They become a turtle. They like come back into their shell. Okay, they're still discussing something, but it seems like the problem may have been fixed. Flash rolling up his sleeves. He's like, okay, I accept my warning. But guys, in the interim, while we have this break, definitely get on Twitter and follow these guys. You can follow us as well. I'm Brennan Valdez. Moonglade is at MoongladeAU. I sometimes say EU just for no reason because I guess EU is another server, and I say that quite often.
I guess it is. No, you're fine, Valdez. Thank you very much. Yeah, tweet at us, guys, if you're enjoying the cast and enjoying the show. Yeah. Tell us what you think about the games. We want to hear all about it, and we're reading it between breaks, so we'll get back to you if you have anything interesting to ask or say.
Yeah. Well, we're still just waiting here. I'm not exactly sure what the problem is, but
we are. How was your weekend, Valdez?
It was great.
Tell me about it.
I had a lot of fun. Actually, went over and casted at Africa with Nick, Tasteless. That was fun.
You don't want to talk about that, man. Not here at SPL2015. Besides that, well, let me tell you about mine, Valdez.
Okay, so it looks like we're going to have a...
okay. I ended up watching I Am Taipei.
Yeah.
And then I got
Did you leave your
Grandmaster.
house?
No, I didn't leave my house. It was way too cold.
Yeah, it's quite cold.
Then I got Grandmaster on the Korean server again. So I was very happy with that, man.
That's a huge actually thing to get. It's the hardest server, and getting Grandmaster is hard in itself.
After you've been watching live for a while, you just get that power. You know,
you just like
get that inspiration
absorb some of their skill.
Yeah. So I went and brought that to the server, and I cheesed out a few people and got GM. So that's all it took. That's all it took, guys.
Moonglade telling it like it is.
Yeah. The game was it was 8 minute long. 8 minute long game that I
really
that got me the GM.
What'd you do? What build?
Well, it was ZBZ, and I kind of
okay.
just Ling Bane aggression.
Nice.
And I was following up into Mutas, but he was already dead. Oh, date night for this fella. Look at that, Cap.
It seems like they were quite okay with being on camera.
I like that. I like people that embrace it. I remember back in the day, whenever they'd try and get me on camera, I'd always give them like a
little wink, like
a wink or a bit of a Zoolander or something, you know.
We posted a pretty scary picture up on Twitter before these games started.
Yeah, that's another reason to follow us, guys. We post really horrible selfies sometimes.
It was disgusting.
Yeah.
Moonglade looked like something out of a video game. It actually scared me. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
I looked disgusting, too.
No, you were fine, man.
But, yeah, I mean, we're still waiting. We haven't been invited into the game yet, so...
I wonder if it's actually been hosted is the next question.
I guess you can go ahead and check that out.
Do I want to join it? Do I want to wait?
It's up to you, Moonglade. Use your best judgment.
I will join it, see what happens.
Okay. So you're in the game alone?
So it is going to be restart from replay, which is why it is taking so long.
Yeah.
I don't know why exactly they do that instead of just resuming the game.
Yeah, I don't know. It must be something from the handbook.
See, this is probably... No, I actually think this is why Flash was like arguing for so long. It's like, well, I can't activate it now for some reason, so...
yeah, maybe.
Maybe... I don't know. I don't exactly know the reasoning behind it. Still, we will have to wait for them to figure things out while we kill time.
This is the best part of casting, actually, just killing time and talking about nothing. You guys can come down to Korea, by the way, if you haven't. You definitely should.
You can take a plane here.
Yeah,
it's actually
there's
flight paths from around the world to Korea, so you can land here.
Yes.
It is pretty cold right now, so you might not want to go right now, but still,
yeah.
in the maybe like 2 months, 3 months.
That'll be good. Spring is
before it
usually
gets
pretty good
too
here
hot.
in Korea.
You can come down here. You don't have to pay anything to get into the next arena or the GSL studio. You just turn up, enjoy the show. There's headsets for Pro League and GSL.
Mm-hmm. You can listen to us cast, or if you want the full Korean kind of experience, you can just come down here and not understand what they're saying, but be yelled at a lot. That's also fun. I think most people do that at least once.
Yeah, it's very exciting, the energy they bring to it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole new experience because of the different language more than anything else.
Yeah. Well, we are starting this game now, but we are, of course, going to have to upload that replay, or reload that replay.
Yeah.
It's not going to take too long. I mean, the game didn't really
luckily
get
it wasn't
that far along.
Yeah, it wasn't a very big game, so we're going to be jumping right in. It's only 5 minutes long. So we're all good to go. I think, for instance, maybe we're restarting from the replay because Flash couldn't make his building in time. Because we did see, actually, Bomber made his orbital a lot earlier than Flash did, even though Flash could have.
Yeah.
Which is why I think we're actually seeing them restart it. So that's the kind of power Flash wields. He's like, you know what? My orbital was 5 seconds late. I'd like a restart, please. Bam, it happens. God.
Yeah. Well, we actually...
Oh, crap.
They messed up the lobby here, it seems, so we're going to have to restart that again. Sorry for the delay here, guys. Just bear with us. Something vehicle of esports.
Okay.
Tons of people here in the studio. I really want to point that out. Huge day for StarCraft today before we get into that round 1 playoffs. We are now rejoining the game. We should get this started in just a bit. Flash, he's already typing. He's actually just spamming like go, 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 yo, go, go, start, yo.
Everyone's getting
GL.
They're all getting cranky. You don't want this game to start. It's a very important game. Flash has to win this, which is no doubt why he wanted that game restarted. He wants every advantage he can get. If he loses this game, the match is over. StarTale-yoe would be going into the playoffs nice and easy.
Yeah.
KT would be fail.
Would be fail. They would be fail.
They would be fail, and they would have failed.
I don't know. It was kind of funny that it was cut down the middle with the foreign casters all going for Bomber, whereas all the Korean casters went for Flash. We're going to see who was actually correct.
I mean, this is a very hard one to do it from as well, because obviously, as I was talking about before, both players have had kind of like a bit of a lackluster performance in recent times, but we haven't seen much from Bomber specifically. Whereas Flash, he won his last game, but still, like, we're not sure where he's at still. And we actually have seen the game resume, just we haven't jumped into it just yet. We'll keep you up to date if anything crazy is happening. But here we go, back in a first-person view, and the game resumes. Gas first versus gas first, high aggression. A Reaper coming out from Bomber, and Marines from Flash.
Yeah. Not using as much gas. 50 gas will be used by Bomber. But he is going to have that better scouting information. He's going to be able to see the build of Flash quite easily. Flash, though, is getting a decent number of Marines out here, so maybe he'll be able to defend.
Yeah, he'll have more than enough if the Reaper is in the wrong position at the wrong time and, like, jumps into the Marines. He could just lose it straight up. There's going to be at least 3 Marines out as we see Bombers make its way towards Flash's base. Going to get a perfect scout off, no doubt. Even going to be a Hellion out by the time this Reaper gets there. And Flash, he's in position for this Reaper. Oh, but good reaction from Bomber.
Yeah, that was really nice. You know, some people just put it on autopilot and just go straight into the base and lose that Reaper, but Bomber paying attention. Again, not much to do this early on in the game, but still pretty impressive. STV scout there. Will scout that there's no CC coming down there in the natural of Bomber. So Flash at least has some information. Of course, that CC could be being made up on the high ground, but he doesn't know about that just yet.
And I think we're eventually going to see Banshee play from Bomber once he finishes with his Viking.
Yeah, it's looking like he had already taken both gases.
And a Medivac from Flash. So Flash is going to go for a 6 Marine drop, 3 Hellions on the lower.
This is a pretty strong attack, actually.
It is pretty strong, considering what we see from Bomber at this point. I mean, the Viking's going to help out a lot if it's in position to deal with his Medivac. And if the Hellions are in position as well, they can get some good shots off. But here we go. The drop is coming down. Marines already in. But there's everything waiting, essentially.
Really nice elevator up here. Flash definitely having the advantage here with the more units, but he's right next to the production of Bomber. And that's a lot of Hellions here out of Bombers and doing some nice micro. He does lose that Viking. And now some STVs getting in the mix as well. Those Marines doing a lot of damage, though.
Still, great shot from his Hellions to wipe out both of the enemy Hellions at once. Both of Flash's Hellions. And we are seeing Flash go for expand after this. And Bomber has enough for it, but hasn't decided to commit just yet.
Yeah, actually getting a Raven here first.
Yeah.
And there comes that CC. Flash is going to go for a couple of Vikings back at his base. Wants to secure that air control so far. He's going to actually send the first one over to the base already.
Oh, this is
And that
smart.
Raven's going to be so careful.
Yeah, this is actually really smart because with a Raven only here, just so awkward. Forced out to use the auto turret already. You never want this to start things off. You could never afford to lose.
Yeah, forces a repair even onto that Raven. And we do have Stim right away here as a follow-up out of Flash, so going to be going bio. Whereas for Bomber so far, just making a bunch of Hellions.
Oh, Flash going to lose that Viking.
Uh-oh.
So advantage once again in Bomber's favor. Bomber with a very small supply lead. And another trade going down. And
that Viking's being repaired. He actually cannot just go up against that. And he does identify this and back off.
Pretty wonky sort of situation. And I think we might... Oh, we are going to see mech from Bomber.
Yeah.
This is interesting. And we're going to be seeing buy from Flash. So let's see how Flash is going to curve against this. Flash usually the one going for the mech in any sort of situation. Double Medivacs as well. Sorry, Valdez.
What I was going to say is just that we were talking about it a bit before. Flash, may want to change up his play a bit as he is slumping right now. Just try to get out of that funk by playing a bunch of different styles.
Well, he's going to has to defend pretty well against this Hellbat drop that's coming his way. And he's not in position to do so.
It's first order of business. This Viking is actually out of position. Should definitely be over there trying to defend against the drop. But here we go. 4 Hellbats coming straight into the main.
Boost is ready. And
yeah, I don't think he's going to be able to drop there. Even though just the tank and the Marauder going to be pretty good against that.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. He decided not to commit too hard. Instead, bringing down more units. He's bringing down a lot of Hellions, maybe to do a run-by into the natural, while he baits everything into the main base with this drop. Or,
oh my god!
Oh,
man. Doing a lot of damage there. None of those medevacs were damaged, so
he's got to be careful. His Marines could one-shot it as well. He's going to have to use that point defense run, I think. He's actually gearing up for a massive drop.
That's 7 Hellbats in the drops here. And here we go, dropping straight onto the tanks, up on the ramp as well. We do have Stim done here, but those tanks are going to go down pretty fast. He gets the one down on the bottom first here. He's going to easily be able to focus down that second tank. And now the Hellbats can even split up here possibly.
He just puts them all back into the medivac.
He's just going for the units here.
Oh, I like this a lot. There's nothing Flash can do in that sort of situation. Same time, STVs in the natural are going down, and there's nothing left from Flash.
He's got nothing here. I mean, he's got 3 barracks, but it's just not enough. Those SCVs are so vulnerable. Finally, Flash getting some tanks and some Marauders out here, but Bomber's not stopping with the aggression. The Vikings even landing here, and he's going to get that 3rd tank now. And, man, there's nothing here for Flash. He cannot defend this right now. I really don't know what he's going to try to do.
I don't think he can do anything from this point. He's defending with what he can. He's making Marauders, which don't do the best against Hellbats, but I mean, there's nothing really else he can make. And now the SCVs are exposed once again. This Hellion in the natural is actually shooting the SCVs. They would all be gone by now.
Oh man, even Vikings going back up into the air. This one Hellbat is going to be surrounded by SCVs.
Things you never want to do, but have to.
Oh, and 2 other Hellbats just getting so many kills. 12 SCVs going down. The numbers continue. More surrounds on Hellbats by SCVs.
Things you never ever want to do. And here we go again. This is the last hurrah. And GG. StarTale-yoe go to the playoffs.
There you have it. Bomber in his 2nd game is finally able to win the first win of Pro League for himself. And he really brings that along here. StarTale-yoe as a team really looking super strong, whereas Flash kind of disappointing once again. You could see he was very, very hurt by that loss. He just cannot break this funk, man. He's just in a total slump right now.
We thought he had a break after defeating Bung Bung last week, but it just wasn't enough to really kickstart him back into that better shape that we've seen in the past. And disappointing kind of end for KT this round, but a great sort of opportunity for StarTale.
That was a really cool build out of Bomber. Kind of caught Flash off guard before he could really get that bio ball going. I mean, he had the stim, but just not enough units.
Yeah, we never really see that kind of style, that level of aggression with, I mean, like, extra double factory like Hellion with 4 medivac Hellbat drop.
It was really cool. It was really effective. It was made to specifically punish the build of Flash, as it worked out totally well. Even the 2 tanks there not able to do much. Just the drops from the medevacs were just too much.
Yeah. Really next level. Really well prepared from Bomber.
He is looking so down. I mean, I would be as well if I were on this bad of a losing streak. He's not quite on the streak now, but he's still in the slump.
Well, I mean, he's 1-6 at the end of this round. He failed to help his team qualify for the playoffs. Something is going wrong for Flash.
Yeah, man, a bit disappointing, but at the end of the day, StarTale-yoe is going to get into the playoffs here, like we were saying before. Kyria is taking a win over TY. Kind of a surprising one there. And then Lenok takes down Stats, or rather Zest, and then Stats wins a game here against Life. And Bomber able to clean things up against Flash.
It's great to see StarTale-yoe, a team that we probably would never really expect to do as well as they are against Kesper teams. Really just take it to the next level, and they're a true threat in this tournament.
Yeah, well, the main reason is, of course, Lenok and Life just playing out of their minds good these days. If you're able to take 2 wins and get it to the ace match, you're going to do quite well. Like we were saying, like we saw before, actually, StarTale-yoe's indicator is not that good. It's because they played in so many ace matches. Yeah, even though they are ahead. I think they're 4-2.
Yeah, I think they are 4-2. I guess that really...
They were 4-2, now they're 5-2.
Oh, yeah. It definitely makes sense that they rely on just a couple of plays if that means to get to the ace match. But still, I mean, today we did see plays that we were not expecting to win with Curious and Bomber. Life is the one that dropped the ball today.
Yeah, funnily enough.
Yeah.
I guess just that playing right in the morning was too much. Again, he's